This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
First day of summer here in the Quinte Regent's Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. If you're listening to us at the North Pole, you're not even going to see darkness today.
It is daylight, 24 hours for you today.
Santa Claus is getting no night.
He's getting a nice suntan today.
It's a full day up in the North Pole. South Pole, not going to see the sun at all. 100% dark. If you're listening in Australia, welcome to winter.
Yeah. I do have friends in Australia, and it's always funny to see them bundled up as we start to take the clothes off.
Finally, yeah.
Yeah, we start to remove the layers, they put it on. It's very interesting.
Actually,
very, very interesting.
Things to learn. Does it actually ever really get cold?
It does. You know what? I asked a question. There is an Australian site where you ask anything. Like it's meant for people outside of Australia to have their queries answered if they're planning on traveling. So I did. I sent a message saying, is there actually snow in areas of Australia? Because that's right. One thing you never see. You see the deserts, you see the barren terrain and the mountains.
And they're all mop heads on the beach.
Everything's trying to kill you. Yeah. And they're surfing and spending time on the beach.
You never see them shoveling a driveway.
There are areas of Australia where there's downhill skiing. They get so much snow. There are places that get snow. Not a lot,
right.
Not like Canada or northern states or even Europe, but they do have areas where they get winter.
And those places also have things that want to kill you.
Oh, of course, yeah. They've just adapted to the cold weather.
No, thank you.
The Yeti, they have the Yetis up there that come down and kill you.
Have you been to Australia? Because it sounds like a place where I should probably go.
Oh, I would love to go. Actually, you know what? I would prefer to go to New Zealand.
Yeah,
and
I
then
keep
Australia.
hearing that. I keep hearing that a lot.
But no, I've never been there. Hopefully one day.
Friends of ours went to New Zealand because their daughter decided to live on the beach in New Zealand.
That's amazing.
She was very young, like young 20s. And
the path not taken.
I know, no kidding, right? I don't think she wore shoes for 2 years.
Oh, it's amazing.
Slept like in a van.
By the ocean.
Is this a thing?
Oh, I'm sure it is.
It's
a thing I would love to do.
Yeah.
I would still love to do it, but unfortunately, it's not as easy to do as it once was at 20.
I think in the summertime, it was bartender waitress, and in the wintertime, it was ski resort.
Hey.
And so and that's how you lived your life when you were young.
And it goes on here, too.
Yeah.
People do travel to Canada to do much the same thing.
No, she's back in Canada doing that.
I thought you meant in Australia.
No. She did it in New Zealand.
And then came
at the
back.
pandemic, came home, and now she's out doing the same lifestyle, I think, in Vancouver.
Well, Vancouver would be amazing, but I know we were in Calabogie one year, and everyone operating the chairlifts was Australian.
Yeah.
It was like, wow. They're like, it's fun. Like we come, we work, we ski, we travel.
Yeah, who wouldn't want that? Yeah, I know.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, and all I think is your parents must think you're so irresponsible.
Not at all.
As the little part of me is going, well, why isn't I doing that?
Exactly. I can appreciate that. I'll tell you, when I went to Greece in my early 20s, I was there for only 2 weeks. But by the end of that trip, I was this close, like so close to sending a telegram back saying, sell everything, I'm staying.
Yeah.
And literally living on the beach and waitressing and just gone.
That's your life. Yeah.
It was amazing.
There's a lot going for that.
Mm-hmm. And I hope my kids do it too. If my kids wanted to do that, I would have that parental moment of, all right. But at the same time, I would be incredibly envious of them and be like, yeah, do it.
To have that
do it. Come home when you're done.
Yep.
Go do it. You never know what you never know what you'll experience while you're there. But where it would lead either.
Yeah.
Who knows? You could fall into your passion and your career and meet your partner, and there's just so many opportunities.
Years ago, prior to you working on this show, we had a young man out of Campbellford, I think, or was it Frankfurt? Isn't this
Really?
terrible? Yeah. And he was an intern. So we had him on the morning show as an intern because he wanted to get into broadcasting. And we did such a terrible job of dissuading him that he went forward and got into broadcasting anyway. And I really thought, after talking to his dad, my job was to talk him out of it. So he went to college, did very, very well, and went to Fiji.
Oh, well, Fiji needs broadcasters too.
Took a job like the lowest rung on a Fiji radio station and lived around the beach. And for all I know, he owns Fiji now. I don't even know.
You don't remember what his name is?
But I don't remember. It's awful.
Because you mentioned Campbellford. Pretty good chance that
you probably
might know him.
He was a hockey player.
Yeah, I might know him.
So he,
might know
chances are Wayne's helped him get ice time.
Maybe. That's very interesting. Well, good for him.
Of what did I do when I graduated broadcasting? I went north. I went to Timmins and Sault Ste. Marie and tried to apply for a job. He went to Fiji.
Yes.
Some people are smarter than other people.
Well, and I jobbed out, so I didn't even wait to graduation.
Wow. Well, couldn't wait to get you.
I started working right
we
from.
We wanted to know what you wanted.
But do it. Do it. Good for them.
Anyway,
amazing.
Pretty neat. On the show this morning, so last night as I'm falling asleep, I'm on Twitter because, of course, doom scrolling is the greatest way to fall asleep.
Well, and were you not following the Titanic thing too?
There was that was going on.
Every so often I'd click it to see if there was anything new.
Yeah, I wanted to know.
And they started to hear noises. They don't know. They still don't know where it is, but searchers did hear noises. So we'll see where that goes. I'm always afraid
because it's a podcast and it lives forever that you're going to hear this after something has happened. I know. Either good, bad, or
so we don't
different.
have to get into it.
Yeah, because
I didn't mean to interrupt. You were doom scrolling.
No. So
you saw that.
I was doom scrolling and all that stuff. And one of the sites, a guy is always putting up mathematical equations with X, Y's, and if X times whatever equals.
Right up your alley.
Yeah, and then therefore what is.
Yeah.
And then, so it's like it takes 10 seconds, maybe.
Mark sees that. He's like, whoa, okay, I got to figure this out.
Catnip, who can sleep? I got a math problem. And it prompted a discussion with somebody else who wanted to know how I arrived at that because it was vastly different from what everybody else had. And I didn't realize bed mass.
Yeah.
But you reminded me about bed mass. So without knowing what it was, I went to my Canadian math that said, no, anything in brackets is done first. It's not just done linearly.
It stands for brackets, exponents. Am I saying that right?
Exponents,
okay. Exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So it's the order of operations.
Right.
One of the handful of things I remember from math class.
Good on you.
How to do an equation. So if you're given something, if there's brackets, if there's multiplying, dividing, subtracting, adding within this equation, it lays it out how you're to go about finding the answer, how to solve it. So that's what bed mass is.
And not all countries do it. So
I learned that today.
Yeah, to the American who responded the way he was taught, he is correct. And the way I was taught, supposedly, I am correct. Because Barbara Joe texted in the show this morning that said, send me the equation. I taught grade 7, 8 math. And she came back with our answer.
Yeah.
That we had. She agreed. And I said, because it's either one or the other. So whether we need somebody with a doctorate of mathematical genealogy. I'm so hard to go through it.
As I learned this morning, and as you did too, Canada and New Zealand use bed mass. Americans use ped mass, which is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So your friend down south was taking the equation as it was written and doing it in the order that it was written in.
Correct.
As it was laid out. So that's why they were getting, as you said, that they were right because that's how they were taught and that's the answer they got. And you were right because you used bed mass. But we are only one of 2 countries apparently that use it.
I don't understand.
I don't know why we don't all use the same thing.
I know. It's like the metric system. Can we all just do something the same?
Just decide on one thing.
My gosh, you just create a euro? Now you got your own currency over there?
Well, we've got the loonie.
I know, which apparently is beautiful. Have you seen the new one yet?
No. Is there a new one?
There's one coming out, and it'll be out very shortly in honor of the passing of the Queen. And the outer, and this should, upset you in Campbellford.
Because we've got the toonie.
Right.
Not the loonie, though.
So it's the toonie. It's a new toonie coming out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
that would upset me.
It's dark ringed. It's not silver, it's dark, and apparently it's spectacularly beautiful.
Really?
In honor of the Queen. It's going to be coming out later this year.
I don't see.
Yeah, so
I'll have
look
to
that
look.
up. Yeah, it's going to look different. It's going to look like it's got a brown or a like an
This?
ore. No.
This one?
Yes, that one. Yes. Yes,
That's still the Queen's portrait, though. Is that what you mean, too? It's an updated
It's supposed to
portrait
be
of
in
the Queen?
honor of her. It looks like a record.
Okay.
But it's supposed, and it's going to be coming out pretty soon. I haven't seen it yet. I get the whole story on it. But anyway, so yes, if we would just get our mathematical, because the numbers are all the same, that would just be great if we could do that. So that's what's going on. So that's how I spent my night. Tell everybody how you're spending your day.
If you want to try it too, should mention the equation's still up on Facebook.
It's on Facebook.
So you can see what we're talking about.
It's very simple, but it looks like it's only one of two possible
and the
answers.
divide continues because people are going both ways on it. An interesting day. You think it's interesting.
I find it fascinating.
For me, it's just another day in the life of a mom.
Right. So as a dad, I'm like, you should take the whole year off after you do this. And moms are like, this is just lunchtime, idiot.
I feel because of my work shift, because of the shift I have, I am very fortunate that I am available if needed for my kids and their school. Mm-hmm. So when something comes up, yes, I tend to I'll ask the kids, do you want me to come? I'll see what I can do because I am able to, and I don't want to take that for granted. And I feel very lucky that I can. There's that side of it. And then there's the other side where it's like this the last 2 weeks of school. Parents, teachers, kids just want to get through it. So there's not a lot of structure. There's trips, there's fun days, there's theme days, as you said last week. They're just doing whatever they can to keep the kids somewhat entertained and still engaged. So today is Ben's fun day. They're having a fun day at the splash pad, taking the kids down. As a bonus, they're getting lunch from McDonald's. I don't know how many kids are going to be there. And yes, his teacher asked me, could you be there to help us wrangle them? I said, absolutely.
Okay,
sure I can.
No.
And then she asked me, would you mind bringing lunch? I'm like, okay, sure. So I'm picking up lunch from McDonald's and meeting them at the splash pad today.
And so these kids are going to be running around.
Yes.
Ranged out.
Hopefully.
You're bringing them McDonald's,
I know.
which is like Santa's here.
Yeah.
And then you're going to stay and help corral them all.
For a little bit.
Wow, that's...
For a little bit.
That's, that's America's Got Talent level mothering.
No. I certainly won't be the only parent there today.
Yeah,
there will be more.
But the success of the entire day rests on your broad shoulders.
Not really.
It's like a golf
That's
game.
pretty bad if it is. But
that's pretty cool, though. So what else they got going on? Because
Nathan was at the splash pad.
Right?
Yep, Nathan was at the splash pad last Friday, and then he had a trip on Monday. And Ben's is today, and then next week. Oh, I'd have to look. They've got a talent show coming up. I haven't seen anything. They usually do theme weeks. They usually have their spirit week, but I haven't seen anything. So they must not be doing a spirit week this year. They're having a fun day next week, which usually entails water again, but at the school. Yeah. And then they're done on Wednesday. So they have a week today.
Yeah.
And then they're done.
I just love it. I love next week. The last day, I don't care if I live to be 100. I'm a kid in my head again.
Good.
The last week of June. It's the best. It is the best, right up to Canada Day. It doesn't suck after that. But like that whole idea of your entire summer is ahead of you.
It is the best for you because you don't have a kid in school at the moment.
True.
And it is best for the kid. It's fun for the kids because they are wrapping up school. I wouldn't say it's the best for parents. I realized last night, I remembered teacher gifts. Like I had totally forgot. So I got to do that in the next week. Stuff's coming home from school. So I'm getting piles of crap everywhere now that I have to organize and get rid of.
Did my wife have to do all of that
Probably.
stuff? Okay.
So yes, I'm excited for them too. I am. But at the same time, I'm like, we just need to get through the next 2 weeks. Please.
I have never forgotten teacher gifts. You know why? Because I have never thought of teacher gifts.
I know, you're like my husband.
If I've never thought of it, I can't ever forget it.
Wayne is very much, he just sits back and shakes his head at me. But yeah, of course I'm going to get, and I have to remember a special one too, because Ben had that incident at Christmas where his near-death experience.
That's right. Yeah.
So I have to buy an extra one this year too.
Especially on its 10th birthday today.
Just to say an extra thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, to that particular teacher.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So yeah, this is all going through my mind. So it's been I'm sorry if I'm punchy over the next week because I'm going to try to remember everything that has to be done.
So
and the teachers too. I can't even imagine how they feel.
So for the next week, hang in there. I think in our area here at Hastings, Prince Edward, it's Thursday.
Next Thursday.
One extra day.
I believe high school students wrap up their exams this week. It might even be today.
Today?
I think.
Tomorrow or Friday?
Yeah.
We're getting down to it.
It's coming to an end.
And if you're grade 12 and not doing the victory lap, this is it.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
It is. It's so exciting.
It is great.
I don't know if they do it
love it
at every school, but grade 8, the clap out, I think, is next Tuesday for the grade 8s. They do a clap out for them. So all the grade 8s walk through the school and the students.
And oh my gosh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, clap them out.
And then do they come back on Wednesday or no?
No, they're done.
So they're done on Tuesday.
That's it. Yeah, everybody claps them out to get them on their way and to send them off to high school. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that in grade 8 either until St. Mary's.
I've never heard of that. Mm-hmm. That is so good.
It is.
Do you remember the last day of grade 8? Do you remember? I remember it.
No,
clearly.
I remember graduation, but I don't remember the last day.
I was terrified.
Petrified?
Yeah.
Well,
Here we go.
were you, okay, so is that when you went to the all-boys school?
Yeah, I went to boarding school and I knew I was going, so I knew I was leaving. Part of me was glad I didn't like, one of the reasons I left is because I didn't like the classmates that I had, didn't like it.
Yeah. So there was the excitement
didn't fit in, but the notion of it's going to be like super different. It's not just different school with the same people. Mm-hmm. It's all different. But the art at 13, 14 years old to recognize the fact that I can reinvent myself was, looking back, tremendous. Terrifying. So to grade 8s, good luck, okay? It's all going to be great. Take advantage of every opportunity that you have. Go live on the beach. Don't listen to us.
Maybe not grade 8.
Not grade 8, no. Maybe
put
not
in
even,
a few years. Put in a few more years.
After high school, not 17, 18.
Maybe work for a bit, earn some money so you can go and do it.
22, 23 years of age, maybe, but not that soon. Not that soon.
Yeah, it's
so good.
It's an exciting time.
It is.
There's no question.
And then with the first day of summer, we talked a little bit about summer songs as we got into our Throwback Thursday. Mm-hmm. I've got Beach Boys' Good Vibrations for Team Mark.
Mungo Jerry, which is now stuck in my head.
In the summertime when the weather was... Exactly.
Which was on the list that we had of the top summer songs. The top 60? Yeah, summer songs.
There are lots of lists, most of which, of course, are highly subjective. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they were necessarily on, radio airplay or sales or anything like that. But I really like the time out list you had where Sitting on the Dock of the Bay is the #1 summer song of all time.
Well, and that's, I think, what was great about this list is they're known songs. Like, they're very popular and they are radio played and you can find them you hear them regularly, not just in the summertime. So, yeah, it was a good list. #1, Sitting by the Dock of the Bay.
Under the Boardwalk was
Under the
#2
Boardwalk.
by the Drifters.
Go-Go's Vacation, which I absolutely love. One of my top summer songs was in there. Tide is High. Was it on there?
Not there.
See, that's another good one. That's a good one for the summer.
I mean, that's a water song, but for me, the summer songs are the songs that remind me of when I had my great summers. Every song from the summer of 1980, I know all of them, and they instantly send me back.
And what was the song this morning? Because you played it.
Sailing by Christopher Cross was the #1 song of that year anyway.
Wasn't there another one, or was it just Sailing?
No, all of them.
Just Sailing.
No, all of them. That'll probably be my yacht rock. Well, there's other yacht rock like Summer Breeze.
No, I thought you had played another clip, but you're right. It was just Christopher Cross's Sailing you included, and then Backstreet Boys for Me. Yeah, I Want It That Way
from the summer of '99.
Yeah,
when you were just.
It was a big year
because I was 17. That was the summer. That was that summer. ELO,
1980. Yeah,
and the movie Xanadu came out, which was not a good movie. And ELO and Olivia Newton-John were the soundtrack, and they both had hits that summer all over the world. From ELO was one of my favorite songs. He's So Shy by the Pointer Sisters, summer of 1980. Hot Rod Hearts by Robbie Dupree, 1980. Just song it, and we were working on the river in Windsor, listening to Magic 95 in Detroit, and these songs just kept playing. And it was like, it was just magic. And that was the name of the Olivia Newton-John song, ironically enough. But those songs would come on, and Justin Bieber, you're 17? Boy, nothing like it.
I hope everybody gets to experience a summer like that. I remember my dad saying that to me after my summer because I was working 2 jobs. I was hardly it was a busy summer. I was hardly home. My mom was worried about me. She's like, "Oh, is it too much?" My dad's like, let her do this. Because I was constantly running. I'd met a new boy. I was heading into my 2nd year of radio broadcasting. I was working at the college too. Like, it was just all these little things that kind of together just made it an incredible summer. We went to fairs and concerts, and just, if we weren't working and sleeping, we were running. It was just fabulous. And my dad said to me at the end, he's like, I hope your sister and everybody should have a summer like that. Like,
it's great.
Yeah. Enjoy it.
And you want it to last forever.
No responsibilities. You just live it and enjoy it and have fun.
Labor Day is tragic on those.
Then everything changes. Back to reality.
Everything changes. So it all begins today with summer. Enjoy it. Get those votes in. Winning song tomorrow after the 8 o'clock news. Tomorrow, we're getting set for the Day of Caring to benefit the United Way of Quinte. Over 250 volunteers are going to take to the streets for the programs that they benefit and help them out with some of their projects. We're going to be painting. I don't know where we're painting. Do you know where we are?
I do.
I do not know. Don't tell me.
No, I'm not. I don't want to say where we are.
Okay.
Yet. Okay. But yes, we're painting a lot tomorrow.
Are we?
Yes.
Because I got to bring a ladder and a pole.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm going to bring some of that stuff.
I'm just hoping I remember to wear painting clothes.
Yeah, I've got mine laid out
I'm going to look like a bit of a bum tomorrow.
So am I.
Okay.
I'm going to look kind of junky.
Yeah.
But we're painting, and it's all good. And we're going to get a T-shirt, though, right? We get painting T-shirts?
I believe we get...
United Way T-shirts?
We get the United Way shirt, yes.
Okay, if I get paint on
Our Day of Caring shirt. And that just adds to it. If you get paint on it, it just adds to it. To me, that was... Yeah.
That's more caring.
Now, that's the caring.
That's the caring right there. That's caring.
Yeah. This is caring here. This was caring. This is caring.
I wanted this to be caring, but this was charity throwing paint at me. That's what that is. Apparently, I said something and I deserve that. That's something.
I need to care more.
Yeah. This is words matter, and I need to think before I talk. That's what that is. Right there. Big day coming up tomorrow morning. Enjoy your Wednesday today. We'll talk to you then on 95.5 Hits FM.